Here's T-Bone and Heather on Star 98.3 and 97.7 The Bay.
12 minutes after 7 o'clock, 7:12. It is Friday. You know what that means.
Here's Johnny.
Right, you
morning.
Morning.
Oh, it is. It is the summer movie weekend.
So excited about this.
Okay.
Now, there's bigger movies coming out this summer. Don't get me wrong. We still have, obviously, Superman, which I am just getting more and more excited about by the day.
Okay.
I was a big Henry Cavill guy. I thought he looked perfect as Superman.
He's
Yeah.
pretty good as
But the
Superman.
more I see this new Superman, the more I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, it's brighter, it's more hopeful, and let's be honest, we can kind of use that right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then we also have Fantastic Four coming out. So this isn't the biggest weekend of the movies, I'd say, but it is the most summer blockbustery weekend of the
Beautiful.
movies.
All
Yeah.
righty. So what do we got?
I got my popcorn. What am I watching?
We got F1, starring Brad Pitt.
All right,
and
the
then
race car
Megan
thing.
2.0, which is a
Yeah.
sequel to Megan.
Right.
So, starting with F1, which is your typical summer blockbuster. And when I say typical, I mean this in every sense of the way. I've talked on here before that, people say like a templated movie or something that goes by the numbers. They always say it like a bad thing, like it's a bad thing. You know what I mean? But I think it's not a bad thing as long as you do the details right.
Well, the numbers exist for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
The formula's there.
Yeah, F1, which is funny because F1 Formula 1,
right.
and it definitely follows a formula. So Brad Pitt plays a bit long in the tooth, which hurts me to say Brad Pitt long in the tooth at this point.
I know.
Auto racer who was a phenom in the 90s. He was the next big thing, and then he wasn't.
Okay.
He's known as the greatest that wasn't, or the greatest that never was.
Right.
And he's brought back to his old team to help the rookie win and bring the team to glory.
All right.
So it's that story you've seen 1,000 times, but I mean, it's Brad Pitt, and nobody can deny the guy's charisma. I mean, his ability to say something kind of not snarky, but sarcastic and grin at you while driving by you 120 miles an hour is unparalleled. And that's where all of the fun of this movie comes from.
I'm sure, and I'm asking this just for confirmation. I'm sure they've got some great shots, like driver's seat, where you kind of feel the
yeah. So that's the other huge thing. Now this is a Jerry Bruckheimer movie, right? So he is the action guy. He has been for 40 years, and I can't really put my finger on what exactly they did, but it's obvious they found some cool new ways to put you in the driver's seat.
Okay.
Well, that's the whole thing right there.
Which is great in the RCX theater too, because the sea rumbles, right?
Well, we saw. I took my kids to see. How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I took them to see that in the RCX theater, and it always surprises me when I'm sitting in there,
right?
Because as soon as it starts, like boom, 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 and your whole seat's going, you're like, oh my god, it's an earthquake. But yeah, I mean, when you talk, do you guys remember, or did you ever go to King's Dominion in the '90s when they had the Days of Thunder ride?
We did go to King's Dominion in the 90s, but I don't think we did that ride.
Oh,
no.
So that was number one, Days of Thunder. I was racking my brain trying to think, is that the last major race car movie?
I think it is.
Of this level, I think it is. So
well, they did that Ford and Ferrari thing, but that was more of a
biopic, not
about those two guys,
right?
But it wasn't just a straight out racing movie.
Isn't that amazing? 30 years, almost 40 years now before another race car movie.
Well,
but yeah,
there was Cars. That was
Cars
huge.
that's true.
Right.
That's true. I'm not going to fight you on that one.
Right.
But there was a ride in King's Dominion. It was the big thing when it was released, Days of Thunder, and it was basically you sit in a chair that moves. It was 40X theaters essentially, but we didn't have that back then. So, and that's what I can imagine it would be like in the RCX theater because now I watched it on obviously stationary regular theater, but even in that surrounding atmosphere, you feel the speed.
Yeah, you do
feel the vroom of the cars going by you because of the surround sound. Another popular thing for critics to say is this one you need to see in a theater.
Yeah.
But this, unless you have a $7.1 $10,000 surround sound system at home, see this because the sound design, as geeky as that sounds to say out loud, the sound design and the scope of the screen really play into the experience.
So you loved it.
Yeah, it was a popcorn movie to to the highest. It's very
Okay.
formulaic. It's not going to make you cry. It's going to make you have a great time, and your adrenaline's going to be spiking, and it's Brad Pitt taking you around the laps.
Come on.
All right,
What
I
more
love
do
that.
you need? That's
Okay.
Not
exactly
much
what it
more.
should be.
Now, what about Megan 2.0? Because I saw Megan, the first one, creepy,
Yeah.
and with the way AI is and stuff
Oh.
now. So tell us about Megan 2.0.
T and I were just talking about that before we got on the air, and it was a very apt conversation for this. So, yeah, Megan 2.0 is just the funnest weekend in the theaters because this is a very fun movie.
Oh, okay.
It is so
when I
stupid.
watched the trailer, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they're just having fun with this.
Yeah, it's so stupid, but it is absolutely every bit of fun that you could want out of a movie. So I'll tell you the synopsis, and then you'll know exactly. But seeing the trailers before seeing the marketing, I was like, this is going to go one of two ways, and I'm so glad it went the good way. So, if you remember in Megan, the first movie, Megan was a doll created for little girls that had an AI that
Right.
could be the girl's best friend.
Right.
That never goes well. in
Never
movies.
does.
And as you'd expect, the doll.
Or in real world.
Yeah, the doll wants to protect the little girl, goes murderous, kills a bunch of people.
Sure. As dolls will do.
Right, and is destroyed at the end of the movie. Well, in Megan 2, somebody has stolen Megan's AI to repurpose it for military applications. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Okay.
So, and of course that goes bad.
Yeah.
So the only thing that can defeat this military AI that was stolen from Megan
Yeah.
is Megan.
Oh, come on.
She's
So they
the
were-
hero.
Megan's in a very Terminator 2 capacity.
Yes,
Megan
right.
is resurrected and
Dun, dun, dun.
reprogrammed.
Oh, that's cool.
And it number one,
Megan's back.
seriously, one of the best simple scores of all time. It's
Perfect.
Jaws,
It's the
Halloween,
banging on
and
the
this.
pipes.
Yeah,
Dang, dang.
it's a very
Yeah.
industrial. Type.
Yes, it
but,
is.
So Megan has to stop the military Megan, and it's.
So good.
The one warning I want to give people is that this is a genre shift. Okay, so the first movie was a horror movie, and
Yeah.
it did that very well. It was creepy, for sure. This is not. This
Okay.
is an action movie.
Oh, okay.
It's more of an sci-fi action comedy than anything else. I don't even think you'd really say it's horror.
Okay.
Unless you're really scared of AI, which
Yeah.
I guess we all should.
yeah,
Sure,
we should
right.
be.
But I mean, Megan is essentially like if you try to think of how she's programmed. Now they didn't say this in the movie, but based on her behavior, how she acts, how she talks, they just took every '80s action movie and
Beautiful.
used that as the learning model for this AI. 'Cause
All right.
she's got more one-liners than Schwarzenegger.
Right.
She's doing TikTok dances. She's very snarky and sarcastic. It is just. As long as you can go into it and let your brain go a little bit, you will have so much fun watching this movie.
Excellent.
It's
I am
ridiculous.
sold.
Yeah.
Here's my one. I don't usually do this, but here's my one. I'm concerned somebody probably shouldn't do this movie. It's not even out yet, and I'm worried about it. Mel Brooks has decided, and I don't know who greenlit this, but they're going to do a sequel to Young Frankenstein.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Spaceballs too. Okay.
They
Well,
are doing that too, yeah.
They're doing a very young Frankenstein, and I think that Young Frankenstein's so good.
Why
you're
mess
gonna
with
you're
it?
gonna ruin it.
Why
well, if
mess
you look at
with
History of the
perfection?
World, do you guys? I mean, first of all, do you guys even remember that they did a History of the World sequel a couple years ago?
I do not.
Don't know. I do not.
Exactly. So Hulu did Mel Brooks was involved in it. He's been, I guess, he's 97.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
But
yeah.
The guy, number one, when they did the Spaceballs announcement, I was blown away by how vigorous he still looks, how energetic he still looks at 97. I mean, he looks like Yoda at this point. But,
Yeah, he
but
does.
he talks and he's very sharp still and everything like
Yeah.
that. But a couple years ago, they did History of the World Part 2 or Part 3. I don't know what the subtitle
Right.
was, but moral of the story is it wasn't very good. Nobody really saw it. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of Hollywood's biggest names involved in it, and there's
I'm always scared when they take something like that and try to add to it or redo
because
it.
Mel Brooks. I mean, number one, Mel Brooks is very attached to a certain time period in film.
Yep.
And some of that is timeless. Like Spaceballs is going to work because it's Star Wars, which is also timeless. But,
Right.
number one, I don't think we have a huge taste for parody at the moment.
Right.
It's interesting because we're seeing more of it. It's starting to have a resurgence because Naked Gun is
Yeah,
coming
that's
out
coming
with Liam
out,
Neeson
right?
and
Pamela
but,
Anderson.
yeah, and Pamela Anderson. But Young Frankenstein. I understand Spaceballs. Don't understand Young Frankenstein. That's
Okay.
I'm worried about it because I do.
Yeah.
I love the movie Young Frankenstein, and when you mess with something like that and go, "Hey, we're going to make it better," are you? Because
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Gene Wilder has not seen his replacement enter this earth since he
There
left.
you
So
go.
No.
there you go.
Okay, and next week is Jurassic World's Rebirth. Is this going to be banging the same old kettle, or do you are there high hopes for it? Because I really haven't seen a lot about it.
Yeah, this is
And it's Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, but it's not gonna matter in terms of box office. I would be extremely surprised if that movie doesn't bomb.
I
Really?
thought the same thing.
Yeah, and people just don't. I mean, they've overdone Jurassic Park. I mean,
Yeah.
Too much.
what they forget is that we had 3 movies in the 90s, right? And then they gave us 15, 20 years before Jurassic World. And then you brought in Chris Pratt at his height, a pretty cool idea, and a long period of time since the last one, so people had a taste for it again, and it was a big hit. And then every executive in Hollywood said, "People love dinosaurs again, and let's make
Go.
50 dinosaur movies."
Yeah.
So this is, I think, the 4th or 5th
I don't know. I lost
Jurassic
count.
Park movie
Yeah.
in the last
Yeah.
6 or 7 years, and it's more of the same. I mean, it's dinosaurs are loose; they are going to eat us. Hunt the dinosaurs.
Right,
There's
right.
a lot of detailed differences, but that's the end of the
Yeah.
moral of the story. At the end of the
Right.
day,
Well, we'll see.
that's all you
We'll
can
see
do
how
with
it
them.
does.
yeah. I mean, would dinosaurs go to school or
Right. All right, sir. So thank you very much. So it's the what's the
F1,
F1.
F1
and Megan 2.0.
Megan.
It sounds good.
It does.
I like
It's
the
a fun
sound of that.
weekend.